A few days ago, the Hive released their 4th version of their small change roundup, which goes over some updates that you might have missed if you weren't paying attention. At this point, all of the people that have been watching me for a while already know how this video goes. It's basically a law of the universe now. If there's a Hive small change roundup, there will also be a corresponding Potato Pie 25 video on it out within the next few days. In this video, I'm going to be going over the small change roundup to talk about some of the things that have changed, and I'll also discuss some of the other updates that have happened on the Hive within the past month that you need to know about. Be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe if you're a fan of my content, and enjoy. As always, there's going to be a link to the Hive updates page and to the small change roundup in the description if you'd like to read along with me or check it out for yourself on your own time. The Hive updates website is where all of the server's updates are posted, so if you'd like to read about them before I make my video on it next time, that's the place to do it. Without further ado, let's get into the Hive's 4th iteration of their small change roundup. Now, something's a little bit different about this one, and it's even noted in the introductory paragraph. Basically, this roundup and a lot of the updates that have happened in the past month are just bug fixes. Obviously, bug fixes are a good thing that keep the server up and running, but it also means there's not too much to talk about when it comes to this small change roundup. I'll try my best to go over some of the bug fixes as best as I can, but just know that if the small change roundup portion of this video seems short, that's the reason why. Alright, so one of the changes that happened that I'm honestly most glad about is the fact that they removed similar letters from custom server invite codes. The reason why I'm happy about this is because when I used to do custom servers on my live streams, some of my viewers would have difficulty putting in the custom server code because there would be a capital L and a lowercase I in the same code, and because they look similar, they would get them mixed up and put the wrong letter in. With this change, there shouldn't be as much confusion as to what the letter is in the custom server code anymore. Moving on, there were also some fairly significant changes to hide and seek. One of those changes is the fact that if no hiders have been killed after 90 seconds, a new seeker is now selected at random. This can be useful for if the original seeker is AFK or is just so bad that they literally can't find anyone. Also in hide and seek, some exploits have been patched for getting out of the map. Now, it used to be extremely easy to get out of the map as a hider, and if I'm being honest, there are probably still ways that people don't know about yet. With that being said, however, the main ways are patched now and it's not as easy anymore. Moving on to survival games, coral shrubs can now be broken. What can you do with this information? I'm not really sure. In Treasure Wars, however, boombox spamming was finally fixed. If you ever played in a custom free shop Treasure Wars game, or for whatever reason had enough emeralds to buy like 10 blockbreaker boomboxes, chances are at some point you only meant to place 1 or 2 of them, but then the entire stack of them in your inventory placed, lagging your game and wasting all of your boomboxes. Unless boombox spamming is referring to a different thing in Treasure Wars, I'm pretty sure this bug is still a thing and hasn't been fixed yet. I've been told that it'll be looked into, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Now finally, there's also a couple of quality of life updates to the server. You can now do /costume or /title and avatar off to remove that cosmetic from you. To remove those cosmetics before, you had to open up the list and scroll all the way down to remove it, which would end up taking a while and would be kind of laggy on low-end devices. That's been changed now, however, and it's really useful in the system that we have now. You can also search for costumes using the /costume, title, or avatar commands. I really don't see myself using the menus much anymore unless I'm trying to pick a random costume just because it's so much easier to use the commands now. The other major quality of life change that we got was that there's now a confirmation before you remove someone as a friend. This has been something that the community has been asking for a while now, because it used to be extremely easy to accidentally remove someone and then you have to go through the hassle of adding them again. Hopefully that shouldn't accidentally happen as much anymore. Now that's about all I've got with a small change roundup, but just note that there were a lot more changes that I didn't talk about in this video just because I didn't see any reason to. Again, I would highly suggest going and reading the small change roundup on your own if you're curious what those other changes were. With that being said, we've still got at least half the video left, and there's still a lot of things that have happened in the past month on the Hive that weren't included in the small change roundup. For example, on April 3rd, the Hive's Easter update released, temporarily changing a lot of things about the server. We now have a spring-themed hub and an Easter egg hunt inside of the hub. If for whatever reason you haven't completed the Easter egg hunt and you're struggling with finding some of the locations, one of my friends named Danny made a video guide to help you out, and that'll be linked in the description. When you complete the egg hunt, you get an unlockable costume called Scarecrow. The Spring Hub's regular parkour has also been changed some. It's a little bit longer now, but I'd say the difficulty is about the same. There's also, however, a brand new, most likely limited time parkour in the Spring Hub. I'd say that this one is a little bit more difficult than the regular hub parkour, but it still shouldn't give you that much trouble. Upon completing this new hub parkour, the title that you get from it is called Hardcore Parkour. I honestly have no idea if this parkour is going to stick around, so I would suggest going and getting that if I were you. Also with the spring update, we got a couple of reskin maps like Ivory Ivory and Ruby and Skywars, and we got a couple of straight up new maps like Campsite and Blossom, which I'll talk about later in the video. Before that, however, I'd like to discuss Block Drop, which is the Hive's new LTM that dropped with the Easter update. You can almost think of Block Drop as a game that's similar to something like TNT Run or the game in Fall Guys at the end. Basically, you walk around the map and the blocks that you or other players walk on eventually disappear. As time goes on, more and more blocks disappear, and it's just a test to see who can survive for the longest. There's even power-ups that can give you advantages like speed or jump boost, safe walk, restore level blocks, or even a knockback Nemo which can knock players off of the map. Remember in the video that I made about Mixed Arcade where I said that I'd like to see knockback Nemo in other games? This probably isn't related, but it's still awesome that we have knockback Nemo in a game that's not Skywars. There's also a lot of unlockable cosmetics that you can get from leveling up in Block Drop, one of which is a costume, which is the LTM's NPC. I believe that's all of the spring update stuff out of the way now, but I'd also like to spend a little bit of the time on the new maps that were added. The first one is called Campsite, and it's a Skywars Trios and Squads map. I personally really like the map because it's got a lot of versatility. You can trap, speedrun, or just play the game normally and have a good time while doing it. I also think that the map looks really good, and so with all of that said, I'd put it at a pretty high tier for Skywars maps. Another new map that was added recently was a survival games map called Blossom. Now admittedly, I don't play survival games that much anymore, but the times that I've played Blossom, I honestly really like how the map plays out. It's obviously a lot smaller than most other survival games maps, but I think that's what makes it unique and special. The games don't take as long, and you can go hunt for kills super effectively. I'd honestly say that Blossom is another pretty high tier map in my opinion. Now, that's finally everything from the spring update out of the way, and there are still a couple more things that I'd like to talk about that have changed on the Hive in the past month or two. One of those is the fact that the Hive partner requirements have now changed. For YouTube rank, there's now an added requirement that you have to have at least 5,000 subscribers to be able to get the rank. Before this change, you only had to be getting 3,000 views a video on YouTube, and that was basically it. People who stream on YouTube also have to be hitting those requirements, 3,000 views a stream and 5,000 subscribers. You can no longer get YouTube rank from streaming on YouTube just from hitting the streamer rank requirements. People who make shorts on YouTube also have to hit those requirements, but their applications will be reviewed on case-by-case basis, which I would assume is the Hive's way of saying that there better be a very good reason why we should give you YouTube rank. For streamer rank, the requirements have been reduced a little bit to where you only need 60 concurrent viewers now, but you also have to have streamed at least 20 hours in the past 30 days. Also, note that again, you can't get streamer rank from streaming on YouTube, you have to get it from streaming on another platform like Twitch or Facebook. Finally, the TikTok rank requirements have been doubled once again, and now you have to have at least 20,000 followers on TikTok and be consistently reaching at least 10,000 views a video. Another thing to note is that for all of these ranks, you have to be ideally uploading content featuring Minecraft or the Hive. Now, I'm not 100% sure of the intent here, but to me, it sounds like you can just upload Minecraft content, and if you've got a big enough fan base, you can get a Hive partner rank without necessarily making Hive content as long as it's Minecraft. It seems kinda similar to Hypixel's YouTube rank, where all you have to do is upload Minecraft, and if you have 30,000 subscribers, you're eligible to get YouTube rank. Now, many people have asked me for my thoughts on these changes to the partner requirements, and honestly, I think they're pretty solid. However, I also realize that I'm kind of biased here since I do meet the requirements for almost all of these ranks. Regardless, it's not up to me to decide, and the Hive may decide to change these up even more in the future. For now, it is what it is. Now, the final change, which isn't necessarily pertinent to the Hive's Bedrock server, but is pertinent to the Hive as a whole, is the fact that the Hive's Java server shut down. The shutdown had already been planned for a few months, and on April 15th, the Hive's Java server officially closed its doors. Now, as for what this means for the Hive's Bedrock server, I've said multiple times in the past that there might be more frequent updates on Bedrock as a result of more development power being free. Obviously, I don't know this, but it would be a logical assumption to make. Maybe we'll even see some modified versions of games that were on the Java network come to the Bedrock server. Again, no basis for this, just a possibility that I thought about. Regardless, I figured the closure of the Hive's Java servers was significant enough to the Hive as a whole to talk about in this video. If you'd like to watch my POV of the shutdown, the entire stream of it is uploaded on my Potato Pie 27 channel, and you can click the card in the top right to go watch it. With all of that being said, that's all of the changes on the Hive that I have for you today. If you think I missed any changes or want me to go more in depth about any of them, let me know in a comment. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Most of my videos are very similar in style to this one, and so if you enjoyed it, I guarantee you would enjoy my other content as well. Also, before we end, as always, I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my YouTube channel members. They support me for $4.99 a month, and they get some cool perks like getting their names displayed at the end of every video. If you'd like to become a channel member for yourself, or check out what other perks they have, you can do so by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, or by clicking the members link in the description. Once again, thank you to all of my generous channel members. That's gonna do it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.